My name is David Roberts. I am a student of Calvary Baptist Church, and we're going to be in Psalm 31 today. A little bit of background information on Psalm 31 is Psalm 31 was written by David in the Bible, and at that time, David's son Absalom was entering Israel to try and kill David and take the throne. But we see that God takes care of David and protects him from his son. So, Psalm 31, 19 through 24. Oh, how abundant is your goodness, which you have stored up for those who fear you, and worked for those who take refuge in you, in the sight of the children of mankind. In the cover of your presence you hide them from the plots of men. You store them in your shelter from the strife of tongues. Blessed be the Lord, for he has wondrously shown his steadfast love to me when I was in a besieged city. I had said in my alarm, I'm cut off from your sight. But you heard the voice of my pleas for mercy when I cried to you for help. Love the Lord, all you his saints. The Lord preserves the faithful, but abundantly repays the one who acts in pride. Be strong and let your heart take courage, all you who wait for the Lord. So, a similar passage that is one of my favorites in the Bible is the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They are in, there's an idol from King Nebuchadnezzar. It's a huge golden statue, and everybody's supposed to bow down to it at certain times. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were faithful, and they did not, so they were punished. They were thrown in a big fiery furnace, but the Lord protected them, and the Bible tells us that they didn't even smell like smoke when they came out. We see that God protects us and he cares for us. The main point in Psalm 31 is the Lord is good and takes care of those who fear him. So 31, 19 through 21 say, Oh, how abundant is your goodness, which you have stored up for those who fear you, and worked for those who take refuge in you in the sight of mankind. In the cover of your presence you hide them from the plots of men. You store them in your shelter from the strife of tongues. Blessed be the Lord, for he has wondrously shown his steadfast love to me when I was in a besieged city. So it's David here, and his son's trying to kill him, but the Lord protected him. And, I mean, we might not always have someone out to kill us, but there are still tough times in present day. I mean, but God takes care of us. So if you're having a bad day, just know that God understands. Jesus says in John 15:18, if the world hates you, know that it has hated me before it hated you. Jesus was crucified, died on the cross, even though the judges couldn't find anything wrong with him. So the world hated Jesus, and we have sin and tough times, but we know that God is above and that he will protect us. Psalm 23:4 says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Even when we have these tough times, we see the Lord is with us and takes care of us. The next part I see in this passage is that God hears our cries for help. Psalm 31:22 says, I had said in my alarm, I'm cut off from your sight, but you heard the voice of my pleas for mercy when I cried to you for help. He hears our cries. He hears our us asking him for help. And like there's nothing you can't ask God for. I mean, you can ask him for just little things, like maybe finding your favorite shirt, or maybe what would be considered big things like sicknesses, feelings, or the salvation of others. He hears all of our prayers. I'm an 8th grader at West Liberty Salem Middle School, and I had to take an exam this year, and I was really worried about it. It was my math midterm, and I prayed about it a whole bunch. I didn't sleep well the night before, and then I ended up doing really good. I'm not sure how, but I did. Psalm 34:4 states, I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. We can ask God for anything, and he last thing I see in Psalm 31, in the last two verses, is, I'll read them first. Psalm 31, 23, and 24. Love the Lord, all you his saints. The Lord preserves the faithful, but abundantly repays the one who acts in pride. Be strong and let your heart take courage, all you who wait for the Lord. So, what I see here is that God takes care of us, and all we have to do is trust him. The Israelites struggled with trusting the Lord because they have all these miracles that get them out of Egypt, and then they're mad because they don't have food and water and anything to eat. But the Lord provides for them. We just have to trust him. The Lord gave the Israelites, it's called manna and quail and water, but they still didn't trust him. We struggle with trusting the Lord. It's tough when bad things happen in our life. It's tough to just remember that he knows what's going to happen and we don't. But we have to trust him. The reality is, God created us and has helped us through so many things. We just have to trust him. So God takes care of us during our times of need. He hears our cries for help, and all we have to do is trust him because he takes care of us. So how do you apply this? Anything in your life you can bring to God. Just talk to him honestly. I mean, it could be family members, sickness, anything. You just have to talk to him honestly. He hears you. 1 Thessalonians 5:17 says, pray without ceasing. So he hears us. The other thing you can do is make a list of how the Lord has helped you in the past and give thanks. Because the reality is he has helped us through so much. We're all sitting in this room right now. We're all here. He died for us so that we can be with him one day. We just have to accept that. We have to trust him. He's done so much, and you can make a list and give thanks. So God takes care of us. We have to trust that he'll protect us and know that he is good. Psalm 31:24 says, be strong and let your heart take courage, all you who wait for the Lord. You just have to trust him. Let's pray.